Hey, Trot, when you look back on your career, what do you hope fans remember about you as an individual and what you gave to this team and to the city?
Um, I hope they remember that I was real. Um, I was passionate about the Eagles. I showed up every day, not just games. Showed up every day, put the work in, left it all on the field. Um, try my best to be the best leader possible, best teammate possible, and just a guy that was just like them, blue collar, showed up to work, grinded, and never thought I was better than anybody else. We all just working, trying to take care of our families, and just have a better life.
Mm.
So excited to talk to our Trot and I used to hang out back in the day doing a little radio
There he is.
years ago.
Oh,
But the one and only, the man himself, 3 stints with the Birds starting in 1998, was a teammate of Barrett Brooks for a little short period of time there as well. 4-time Pro Bowler, first team All NFL in 2000. The Axeman himself, Jeremiah Trotter. What up, Trot?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Try, what's the deal,
good to see
babe?
you, man. Yeah, man.
That's a good looking group right here, man.
You're a liar.
right, baby.
You're a good liar, Trot.
That's
Oh my God.
Hey, come on,
Hey,
man.
look, he's got to speak the truth. He's got to speak the truth.
I knew he had to get that shot in sooner or later. I thought I was going to be able to slide under the radar before he got me.
Yeah. He got it out of the way early. You knew it was
Oh,
coming.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, Trot, good to catch up with you, man.
Yeah, man.
So much ground to cover. First off, I always like to do this with our guests that played with Barrett. You guys were together for a little bit. It wasn't a real long period of time, but what was that year like having to deal with Double B, man?
Oh, let me. In fact, before we even start, let me set the table of. Let me set.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Now, Trot, his rookie year, he comes to town, right? And he always thought that, he wasn't going to make the team. He always thought he was going to make the team because Coach stayed on him. Railroad stayed on him.
Yeah.
So he said, you know what? Says, y'all ain't going to play me. Somebody got to pay. So he would pick an offensive lineman out every day, a different guy, and just beat him up all day long. All day. He got my boy Ian Beckles. Well, then it was my turn. It was my turn to take the punishment. So what do? We on 9-on-7. And I got a double team block, and I got to go up to Trotter. Well, I made a business decision. I stayed on that double team.
just let him do whatever he wanted.
Let him come up on a double team.
That's great.
Coach said, run it again.
Ray
I
Rose.
said, hell no, we ain't running that again. Run it again.
Ray
Coach
Rose
Ray
called
running it
him out.
again.
Ray Rose called him out. No, man. You just went over this. You know you're supposed to go and get Trotter. Run it again. Like this.
And you would think he'd give me a solid. Nah, he ain't give me no solid.
I know the play, and I know who coming to block me. I was down in the 3-point sprint down here.
Oh.
It was a sprint, man, bro. He hit me so hard, man. I wanted to just stop practice the rest of the day. I said, Coach, come. He said, no, we going to run it again. I said, Coach, time out. Time out. I know what I got to do now.
Yeah. I got a pulled hamstring. I got to go sit out. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, my God.
my
That's
goodness.
awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Hey, let me pass this along before we dig into everything with Trot that we're gonna get to today. So, Carolina has traded for Baker Mayfield. They have they've acquired him for a 2024 conditional 5th round pick, according to the NFL Network.
Cleveland just said goodbye. Get out.
Right.
Yeah, 5th rounder to give up. So, Baker Mayfield headed to Carolina. No surprise there, guys. They couldn't go to war with Sam Darnold. That's for darn sure, man. So, good for Baker. He gets freed from that situation. But, all right, Trot. So, a lot to get to, man. Let's start. Let's go back because things really changed for you after Ray, Andy comes in, and Jim Johnson. Just talk about how that kind of shifted the because then you just blossom at that point in your career.
Well, I mean, I had a chance to grow up, obviously. So I'm coming in as a rookie from a small school and, big lights, lost my dad right before camp. So that was emotional. And then I had a year to go through an off-season program. they hired Andy Reid and Jim Johnson, and I really Jim was really like, yo, downhill. I want you downhill, which really catered to my style of play. And Jim really kind of simplified the game for me. Just play downhill. You do that every play until you get to the point to where, you can read the linemen, see what they're doing, and he would have Willie T and those guys to cover for me. And so I've always been appreciative of Jim, just how he, what he was able to take what you do best and implement into his scheme. Same with Dawkins. I know Dawkins had made Pro Bowl the year prior they got there, but I think his career really took off when Jim got there, because Jim started using him everywhere, man. He was all over the place, So, that was a big turnaround for me. And I went through training camp battling Barry Gardner for the starting job, and just kind of worked hard, man, and never looked back.
Trot, were you always this downhill thumper, even when you came out of college, or was that something that Jim Johnson developed in you?
That was my style of game. I was always downhill. I mean, I could play, sideways too, but in that era, you wanted big downhill type guys, unless you played in the Ravens defense where they was more, protect the middle linebacker, let him run. But in Jim's defense, it was, linebackers got to fend for themselves, And I was cool with that. I was cool with that, man. And fortunately, I was given the body type where I could take the punishment and try to dish out a little bit myself. So, and I enjoyed taking on linemen and then coming off and make the play. I think linemen respected me more because I was able to do that versus just running around, So, I took pride in coming downhill, because them big linemen, man, they think they tough, man. Them guys, they bigger than everybody else,
Yeah, to soften them up.
Yeah, man, sometimes I gotta let them know you in for the long haul.
Hey, Jimmy had this scheme. The late and great Jimmy Johnson had this scheme where they would line Trot up, and we'd have 2-3 techniques. They have 2-3 techniques, and they'll put Trot right over the center.
2.5 yards.
I don't know how you would do it, but you always went opposite of what you would automatically step and know which way we were sliding the line. I don't know how you did that, man. We tried to get a bead on it. We never could get a bead on how you set that up, man. But every time we thought we were sliding to you, you go away from the slide, man, and end up one-on-one a running back, man. What exactly what sense did you get on how you knew where to go and how to get there?
Man, you know what? I played at 2.5 yards, and fortunately the center is typically not the best blocker on the offensive line.
Right.
He's typically the smaller guy, athletic guy. So it was easier to take it on the center most plays. And just working every day, I would go out early. Jim and I would work one-on-one drills, getting a quick read with the linemen, the guards, because I really didn't have to read the tackles. It was really just guard to guard, center to the backfield. And, once I was get my hands on them, come out of my hips, and then I can kind of control them, because the defense was designed for everything to get turned back to me. So if I whooped the center, and I was pretty much free to make the play.
Trot, who was your favorite linebacker to play next to in your career?
Oh, man, I mean, I got a bunch of them, man. I can go down the line.
You can only pick one. You only get one.
Oh, no, I can't do that.
Come on, Trot. Come on now.
I can't pick one. I can't do it. I can't pick one.
Stirring up trouble, Gunner. Is that what you're doing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, I can't pick one, but I will name a few guys that just jumped right out. The Willie T's coming in, playing with him. I didn't play alongside James Willis, but I learned a lot playing behind him. Carlos Emmons, man, Mike Caldwell. I didn't play alongside. I played with Ike, but not alongside Ike. You can just, the list goes on, man. There's a lot of guys come through, but I think I learned the most from like Willie T, because coming in as a rookie, and Willie T was so smart, man. He was, he was extremely intelligent. He knew the game, and then he would give you one little nugget during the course of a game, and you go out there and get an interception. You're like, man, how you know that? You know what I'm saying?
All the time, man. Yeah.
And once he does that, like you're in his ear the rest of the season. Like, yo, hey, you see anything else, man, let me know. You know.
Yeah, he used to make me mad, man, because we'd be in practice and I wouldn't even be looking at him, and he'd know, Barry, you come on out to block me. Don't come out here. I'm not gonna be here when you get. I'm like, how does he know I'm going to block him? I'm not even looking at him. He's on the other side of the field. I know you coming over here, Barrett. I know. I'm like, how does he know this?
I remember Willie T went to Oakland. Didn't he go to Oakland last year?
Yes.
And led the league in interceptions or something.
They loved him out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like 7 picks.
Crazy, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was. When did you know, Trot, that it was rough towards the end with Ray, and it took a minute for Andy to get it going. But when did you know that you guys were pretty legit and things were on the right path?
Whew. I would say the first time we beat the Giants, because I think the Giants were on like a 8-game winning streak. Remember that? They were on an 8 or 9 game winning streak. And we played the Giants in New York. I think it was a national televised game. And we beat them in New York. That's when we kind of knew, hey, man, we done turned the corner.
Oh, interesting. How big was that? Was the pickle juice game too? Because Andy starts off with an onside kick, and you guys destroy the Cowboys to open up the 2000 season, which was a beautiful thing, man. But
right.
I just think, and Ike will tell the story. Ike tried to talk him out of it. He tried to talk Harbaugh and Andy out of it. And Andy's like, nah, we're doing it. This is how we're starting the season. Like, did that send a message to you guys? Like, this dude believes in us.
Well, a lot of people, I don't know of a lot of people that actually knew about it, because we was just as surprised on the sideline as everybody else in the stands were. I'm sure just a few people on special teams knew. I know they had practiced it, but when it happened, we was really surprised that they came out with it, man. And once we got rolling, and I remember during the week I was telling everybody about the heat, because I'm from Texas, so I know what that Texas heat is like, man. And they're getting the pickle juice, and I'm looking at pickle juice like, hey. Could have used that when I was out there chopping them trees.
When you were becoming Axeman, yeah.
Hey, and here's the thing. I don't know if it worked, but, we knew it was going to be so hot, man. We'd have tried anything, bro.
Yeah.
Anything.
If you thought it was working, it worked. Right?
No doubt. Yeah. I'm telling you what worked. I'm going to tell you what happened. Dude Staley went out and rushed for 300-some yards.
That's right. That's right.
Then the defense went out there and was 3 and out. Like, once you got past those first 2 or 3 series, we was 3 and out on defense.
Yep.
Now you're putting their defense right back on the football field.
That's right.
And I'm not sure who built that stadium down there, the old stadium, but they had their players sitting right in the heat.
Right in the sun, man. Right. It was right in the sun. That offensive line was one of the best offensive lines I ever saw, though, man. How did you guys, get past those guys like Big Eric and all Larry Allen and all those guys, man?
Man, just playing physical football, man. You come in as a rookie, you learn real quick about the rivalry, the history, and what that game means to the fans. And, you kind of lock in. It's like you having 2 playoff games during the regular season.
Yep.
So it kind of gets you ready, prepared for the regular season, man. There's so much animosity and hate, a level of tension going into that game. Even during the course of the week, man, you're like, yo, what's wrong with these guys? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, as soon as the game ends from the prior week, guys in the locker room talking about it's Dallas week. Like, yo, can we enjoy this week?
Already. You're right.
It's Dallas week, And after that, you start to kind of understand what it means. You feel the energy when you go to the grocery store. When you're in the streets and people talking about, how much they want this game. So, it prepares you mentally, man. You go into the game just with a physical, and that offensive line, man, they was tough, man.
Yeah, they were.
When I came through, they weren't as good as they was when they was winning Super Bowls.
Right,
but you still had some guys. I mean, Larry Allen was still in his prime.
Yeah.
I think Stepnoski was, I ain't gonna say prime, but he was still a really good player. Who else was there, Barrett? Was
Eric Williams still there?
Eric Williams was still there.
Yeah.
He wasn't the player he was before the car accident, but he was still a really good player.
Right.
Man,
Tuane had just left.
Yeah.
Mark Tuane had just left.
Emmett was toward the end of his career. Irvin was still there.
Yep.
Moose was still there. Yep. They had a good squad, man. I mean, shoot. So it was special for me because I grew up in Texas.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I was a fan. I'm gonna just say I grew up in Texas. Y'all gotta put the pieces together. And I grew up watching them guys, man, and just playing against them. I mean, for me, it was a dream come true. Just hitting Emmett. You know, you grow up watching my mom's, 12-inch black and white TV with the little bunny ears. You got to kind of push.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, listen. I'm watching these guys, and next thing you know, I'm hitting Emmett in the backfield, and I'm just like, it's a surreal moment,
Yeah, it's cool.
Hey, Trot, I was sitting out there with you guys in May at the Penn Oaks for the Dawkins Foundation Golf Tournament.
Right.
And we just sitting out there yucking it up and just talking about old times. And I'm saying to myself, as I listen to you guys talk, I'm looking to my right and to my left and in front of me. You're sitting across from me. And I'm thinking, how in the world did all this talent not win something, man? You guys were loaded on both sides of the ball.
We won some. We just didn't win the big one.
That's what I mean. I mean, how in the world did not just one chance at it, but multiple chances at it. You guys were so loaded on talent. Do you still think about those moments?
Yeah, man, especially the Super Bowl. It took me 4 or 5 years to even watch the Super Bowl.
Wow.
It was a hurt piece, man, just to get there and not just to get there, but knowing you had the team to win it.
Yes.
You're gonna always feel like you left something out there, but fortunately they came back a few years back and got one for the city. Because for me, it wasn't so much for me. I just felt so strongly that the city really deserved, to get that monkey off their back and shut some of these other team fans up.
Yeah. Amen. Well, I got to ask you, Trot. So, were you at the game? Where'd you watch it when the Eagles did win it, when they beat the Patriots?
I wasn't going to go to the game,
okay,
right? Because I like watching the game at home. You can see all the replays. The bathroom's close, refrigerator's close. You know what I'm saying, man? You got to be walking 15 minutes to the concession stand. But buddy of mine said, Trot, I got tickets on the 50-yard line.
Okay. Gotta go.
That's a game changer. That's a game changer.
Got to go.
So I said, all right. So I went out there and did a few appearances and went to the game. Man, I was so excited that I did. And like the last couple minutes, I couldn't even watch the game. I was sitting down. Everybody like, come on, Trot, stand up, man. You got to watch. It was emotional, man. And I was just so happy for the city of Philadelphia, man. Obviously, you're happy for the players and the coaches, but players and coaches come and go. But these fans, man, the fans are around for a lifetime. You hear the stories of, people talk about, I wish my mom or my dad could have been here to this day. They waited their whole life to see this. And, and that's what it's all about. It's all about the fans and getting them that first ring. And, just the city deserves it, man. It's a great city.
Hey, Trot, when you look back on your career, what do you hope fans remember about you as an individual and what you gave to this team and to the city?
I hope they remember that I was real. I was passionate about the Eagles. I showed up every day, not just games. Showed up every day, put the work in, left it all on the field. Try my best to be the best leader possible, best teammates possible, and just a guy that was just like them, blue collar, showed up to work, grinded, and never thought I was better than anybody else. We all just working, trying to take care of our families and, just have a better life.
I'm going to tell you about Trot. People don't understand the extent of what he went through each day coming into work. Bruh, when I left him in 98. And when I say he was held together by duct tape and bubble gum, bruh, working Tuesday through Wednesday, bruh, Thursday, all the way up until game day, man. I didn't think Trout was going to be able to walk, man. But he was still able to do it, man. I mean, this is early in his career. You know what I mean? I mean, I tell people what you used to go through, man, every day to just get to Sunday, man.
It was tough. I remember when I came in for my visit, the pre-draft visit, doctors checked me out, and I remember Dr. DeLuca looking at it, and Ray Rose standing there, Jeffrey Lurie. I was like, what do you think? And Dr. DeLuca was like, well, he can play 1 year, he can play 10. It depends on how you take care of it. And I'm looking at myself like, dang, I need that bad?
Right.
So I was fortunate to get drafted in the third round, man, and You know, I had some issues with it early on. I would come out and plant, and it would buckle on me, swell up, and they'd put me in a brace. So now I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying, out there. You know, when you don't know what you're doing, you look slow, you look indecisive, you look soft, and then they put you in a big bulky knee brace, you know, and that takes something away from you, man. And I just kept working, kept my head down, man, and all I could do was work. You know what I'm saying? My dad used to tell me, son, when nothing else worked, just keep working. You know, you keep doing that, good things that happen eventually. And it was a rough rookie season for me. You know, drafted. So I was the Eagles' second pick because they didn't have a second round pick that year. It was Trey Thomas, then myself. And
pretty good draft.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Alan Ross and Mike Reese was in that draft.
That's a good draft, man.
Yep.
And
Rossi was an underrated guy.
Yes, he was. He was.
Won a couple Super Bowls too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just kept working, man. I kept working, and once that year was over, you know, they brought me in. I think it was Tom Modrak.
Yeah,
Modrak. That's right.
They had the end of the season meetings, and he called me in the office, and he said, "Hey, man, you know, just keep working. We're gonna get your knee right, and you're a big part of our plans around here." I was like, "Me?" Like, hey, you think I'm lying? I was like, "Me?" You're a big part of our plans, you know. So I was like, all right, and that gave me a lot of motivation, and you know, just going into the off season, working hard. You know, I had to make it work, man. I left school early. I promised my dad that you know, I was gonna take care of my mom, so wasn't no going back for me. I had to burn the ship, you know.
All right, Trotter, I know you've been telling me for years. You said, I'm D-Gun, one day I'm going to tell you the whole story. Now, I know one side of the story. Look, he's looking now like, what are you talking about?
Oh, boy.
There was a time when you were going through negotiations and you sat across from Andy Reid and it got a little tense in there. Now, I know one side of the story. On this show, Sports Take, is your opportunity to tell your side of the story.
Let's just say we didn't get a deal worked out.
Come on, man. Give us something, man.
Let's just say I got to work on my negotiation skills. Hey, I ended up in Washington. That should tell you everything.
Yeah, here's the follow-up. How heated did it get, Trot? Because it got kind of crazy, right?
It got heated. It got heated to the point Jim Johnson was like, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with contract. That's between y'all two. I'm out of here. Jim Johnson left Joe Bannon there by himself. Like,
hey, is it true that you almost went across the table?
No, I would say it's true that I wanted to. But, you know, I may have made him think I was going to go.
Oh my goodness!
You know, man, you're young and you really don't understand negotiations. But here's one thing I will say, and everybody knows: Joe Banner rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
He did
just by his negotiation tactics.
He did.
You know, and I get if you don't want to pay a guy something, just say, hey, this is all we can offer. That's it. But don't try to belittle the guy, because everything you say to the agent is going to get back to the player.
Yep.
Right.
And there's a certain way you talk about people and to people that you consider the cornerstones of your franchise, the leaders of your franchise. These guys that you're going to have to eventually, that you want to play for you. So I just think there's a certain way you do business, and he didn't do business the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think eventually caught up with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And word goes around the league. We're a fraternity, ain't that right, Barry?
Yep, exactly.
We're a fraternity, man.
Yeah.
And if you don't treat a player right, it's gonna get out to other players.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it comes down to two teams, and that player has heard certain things about this GM and how they do business, he's gonna go to the other guy. You know. So I think eventually just caught up with him. And you know, I think later on when he left the Eagles, I think he kind of admitted that he wished that certain guys. I think he stated there were certain guys we wish we could have shown how much we appreciated them more, you know. And here's the thing: everybody learns, you know. He wanted to be known as a fierce negotiator, to be able to get the best players at the cheapest price. I get it; that was his job. But at the same time, it's the way you do business, you know. Second time around, when I came from Washington, went to the Super Bowl, we had the deal worked out. He told straight up, Trot, this is what we can offer you. We want you. And he left it up to me to make a decision,
Right.
So second time around, I think he did a good job of just, hey, keeping the business and didn't make it personal. Things like that. So like I said, we all learned. I learned because I didn't understand business. I just knew, hey, I gave everything. I was green through and through.
Green
and
as a cucumber.
Understand that, hey, there's two sides of the game.
Yeah.
Right. Well, man, now, you got a little success, man. You're doing well off the field, man. Give us a little bit about, your endeavors now.
Man, just, running the real estate business. You guys know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Condos and stuff. And these boys, trying to take care of these boys, man. I got one in Clemson. He started now. Yeah. My youngest is a senior. It's crazy how time is flying. So he committed to West Virginia.
Yep.
And, just living life, man, enjoying retirement. Body feels like I'm getting beat up more and more every day, man. I don't know what's wrong with me. Getting out of bed hurts.
Golf is starting to be a physical game now, bro.
I didn't used to be this hard.
Right. Oh my God.
Hey, Trap, when it came to your boys, how much did you push them to play the game? Or did you take the approach, I'm here for you. If you want to know more, because I played the game at the highest level, I'm here for you. Or was it a combination of the two?
They ain't have no choice. They was going to play the game. They ain't have a choice. They was going to play. No, but you know what? They love the game, even when they was little. They love the game.
Yeah.
But I'm the type of dad, you got some parents that say, hey, I don't want to push him. If he wants to play, fine. If he doesn't. And, I would never tell anybody how to raise their kid. But I'm the type of father, if I see you have a gift, I'm going to push you in that area.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. It don't have to be sports. I'm going to push you in that area. And I saw at a young age they had a gift, and I just pushed them. And I always told them, this is what you want to do. It's a certain way you got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can't halfway do it. You got to put the work in. So people.
That's one thing you did, man. Yeah, you did. Because, just being out there seeing you weren't that father that was in there. You never really said anything to him on the field. You know what I'm saying? But they always came to you off the field and talked to you. They would call you over. I had to call my son over. Hey, come here, boy. They come straight to you. They be coming asking you questions. You know what I'm saying? I saw that it was different, you know what I'm saying, as far as a father-son football relationship that I seen with most parents, man. I commend you for that.
Well, good thing is you didn't hear me when I was getting on them, If you ever see me leaning in their ear, I'm probably saying some words I shouldn't be saying.
Oh my God!
They know it's all coming from love, and I want them to be their best. And I always tell them, I said, listen, man, I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything, but when it comes to playing this linebacker position, I can take you as far as you need to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I said, when it comes to playing this, I said, man, I spent my whole life studying this game, and I said, here's the thing. What I don't know, I got people that I know that know, and I can reach out to them, which I have done. So, and I'm not naive. I understand the game has changed. We don't play the same game, so they can't play the game the way I play. But, you got to be able to evolve as a coach and as players,
I saw firsthand when Jeremiah and I used to do shows together at WIP back in the day. Our kids would go in. So they would come in and play together. And Trot, come here. Take a look. Take a look at this. What he? It was. I think it was Jeremiah. I don't think it was Josiah. He was killing people, man. He was lighting people up at like 7. It was insane. I knew exactly. I knew this was coming. I'm telling him I got to be his agent. That's what I kept saying to him the whole time. But I saw Josiah play last year in the championship game against Garnet Valley.
Yeah,
for St. Joe's, just lighting people up, dude. He's everywhere, man. He is fast, man. They're studs. West Virginia.
Are they better athletes? Are they better athletes than you were?
Oh, way better. Way better.
Hold on.
Bear jumped on that. Wait, Tribe didn't answer yet. Bear jumped on that quick, but Tribe didn't answer yet.
No, them boys can run like deers, man. Mm-hmm. They can run like deers.
They got everything I didn't have. One, I didn't have me. When you got a father that played the game, that can coach you. They was learning stuff at 10 that I didn't learn till I got to the NFL.
Right.
You know, so they're supposed to be better. You know what I'm saying? When you have a father, Rob, you have a son that want to get into the media. He's going to be better than you. Yeah. Because you're going to teach him all the ins and outs that he typically would have to learn on his own.
Right.
So they're supposed to be better than me, man. And people thought I was crazy when I used to say they're going to be twice as good as me. But, now they're starting to kind of realize, and I poured a lot into them, which we all do with our kids. And it's fun, man. It's fun just seeing them grow. But it's crazy how we used to do the show, how time them just flew.
They were little kids. They were 6, 7 years old, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast it goes. But I also know you're doing great work with building houses for people who need it. And this is why I know you're doing your real estate stuff, but man, what you're doing in the Dominican, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I've been building condos there since 2006. Trying to do my part in the country. I mean, obviously it's a great opportunity for the business and financially as well. But, just building affordable homes, quality work, man. And, we built a company to one of the most reputable companies in the country. So I really enjoy it. I've always wanted to have my own business. I always wanted to have a construction business. I just didn't know where it was going to be. I thought it was going to be here in the States, but, God had different plans. And, we're still just, as long as they selling, we're going to keep building.
What led you to the Dominican Republic of all places to build?
Well, I used to have some salons and car washes, and my barber, he's Dominican. And after we lost the Super Bowl, it was really tough for me, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was in a semi-depression state. And, he's like, yo, let's get out of the country. I want to take you see my country, get your mind off the game. And we went over there, had a really good time. I saw some great opportunities. There was a huge deficit of homes in the country. And, I prayed about it, met with some guys and boom, bought a piece I bought a big lot and started building.
Trot, let me ask you, lastly from me about the current Eagles. Going into this season, we're not that far away now. What do you think about this group? They made a lot of moves in the offseason to upgrade.
I like it, man. I like it. I really like the draft. I like Big Boy. I like the linebacker. What's going to really help Jakobi is having those big guys in front of him, because he's a smaller guy, but they said he has a very, very high football IQ. So he's really good at running and tackling, and he's going to be able to do a lot of that with them big guys in front of him. I think Jalen Hurts takes another big step this year. I think he's gotten better every year, and I think he's going to continue to get better. I think once he embraces, which it seemed like he did a little bit last year, once he embraces the fact that he has legs and God gave you the ability to take off and run, not all the time, but to extend plays, make things happen, that's when he becomes, the quarterback that we want to see, because he can throw the football. You want to see him start anticipating a little bit better, which he's going to get better at, but his ability to take off, man, and extend plays is really going to make the difference in, I think, this offense.
We have said on this show that when you look at this linebacking group on paper, Nakobe Dean, Kazir White, Hassan Reddick, TJ Edwards, this possibly could be the best linebacking group as a whole since you were back there with your crew.
Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, obviously you got to go out and play the game.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Nakobe play. I really liked him in Georgia. What he was able to do down there, he had an outstanding season.
Yeah. And
you can tell he's really smart. And in this game, man, if you're smart, man, you got them big dogs in front of you, because he got some monster, absolute. I saw how big the rookie is.
Yeah.
Next door,
big dude. Man, oh man.
I'm jealous.
Not many guys you would look small next to, Trot, but you kind of look a little small next to this dude.
I mean, the lineman couldn't find me.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Hey, I got one more question for you, and it's back to your playing days. no question, T.O. was a great addition to this team in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
But it got to a point where T.O. caused a division in a locker room like I had never seen before in all the years I had covered football. I would walk in that locker room. You know me. I would talk to a lot of players, but I never say anything. And, man, it was like the North versus the South. It was like the Civil War. So, you know, some guys were on Donovan's side. Some guys were on T.O.'s side. Can you talk about how tense that locker room was at times?
Well, I was on the side of winning.
Yeah, right.
Whatever it took to winning, you take the win, man. If that meant counseling, talking to these jokers, hey, man, he really like you, man. I know he don't show it, but I'm telling you. He told me, bro. He told me he really like you. Then you go to the other side, man. Yo, man, he really got a lot of respect for you, bro. I think, you know, you go back and tell all the good stuff. We can leave out the bad stuff.
Politics, baby.
I'm sitting on the sideline and I'm seeing these guys work. I'm seeing them putting up numbers that as a combo that Eagles had never seen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at one point they was leading. They was on pace to break a record or something for completions, and I think their games were made for each other. And they're coming out. You know, we had one of the top offenses in the league. You know, and I'm looking at, as a defensive guy, you're loving this. You're like, shoot, man, they can go out and do this every week. You know, we're gonna be good, but you know, the wheels kind of came off.
That's an understatement.
Hey, me and Dawkins, we tried to hold the ship together lonely. Like holding pieces on. Like, we used duct tape there. We were scooping out the water. Hey, like, man, the boat was flooding too fast.
Wasn't enough buckets, man.
Hey, the more holes we patch up, they were drilling more holes in the boat.
Yeah.
Man. It was I ain't gonna lie, it was a tense season, man. Like, you know, was really frustrating when you're trying to focus on the opponent and you got to answer questions about your teammates and stuff like that. Yeah. That part is frustrating. So, you know, it didn't work out, man. And it could have been special just watching them guys play together for 3 or 4 more years.
Man,
you know?
never lie.
Yeah.
Woo.
Well, try. Listen,
appreciate it, bro. Really
yeah, great hanging with you, man.
Man.
It was good to see you.
Thank you for your time, man.
Appreciate it, man. You guys enjoying the show, man. You guys doing an outstanding job. Man.
Thank you, man. You know we gonna hit you up again during the season, so.
All right, no doubt. You ain't gonna let me rest till I hit you back.
hey, Try. What'd you say when we were out there at Penn Oaks? He said, D-Gun, you come out tired, you don't want to talk. D-Gun use a guilt trip on you to get you to come out front of the camera.
Man, like, hey, I'm a brother. You ain't gonna talk to the brother. All right, D-Gun, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
my brother's keeper.
Hey, we supposed to take care of each other.
Oh man.
Hey, it worked. It worked, didn't it? It worked.
It worked.
Oh God.
Actually, it didn't. I just felt bad for you.
You're a mess, man. You're a mess.
Good, man.
Try. Be good, man. You're the best.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
You do.
All right, you got it. There's Jeremiah. He's awesome, man. He is
Oh
awesome.
man.
All right, let's come back. Let's talk about this Baker Mayfield thing, guys. It's a biggie, man. A lot of ripples through the NFL waters there after this goes down. If you didn't hear, Baker Mayfield traded from the Browns to the Carolina Panthers. We'll get into the details of it and what it means for the NFC when we get back. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis, we are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network.